spent a lot of time working on NASA projects before I was with Dynetics, where I was on the Ares program, and because of that experience on the Ares program, I worked for a contractor, Teledyne Brown, at the very beginning of that program, and I was a valve designer slash requirements writer and slash test conductor for valve developments. And I learned a lot on that program. I got to reverse engineer valves off the Saturn V. I mean, I got to climb all over an S4B stage at Space and Rocket Center and take valves off of it and feed lines and take them apart and learn how they worked and research them as much as possible. Ended up digging up information and finding some of the old designers and talking to them, and very rewarding, great training I had on that program. So I was the main propulsion system on the stuff that was supposed to feed the J2X engine. So when I transitioned to Orion, they put me on a manufacturing and producibility work with Boeing on the upper stage for Ares, where I was concentrating on the thrusters, reaction control system, thruster modules, and things like that to get us ready to be the production contractor for those thruster modules. And then during that transition period when Ares got canceled, we ended up being on contract with Boeing to actually build a production facility for these thruster modules and other components. And we had to spend, it was a fixed price contract, and we had to spend a bunch of money in a 9-month period, and no matter what was happening with the program, we still had to build this facility to be ready for whatever was happening next. And that was quite an experience, because in that time frame I was a senior project engineer, and I got to help train a brilliant young female engineer in our group that had never done project engineering before to do that, and by the end of that program, she's off running her own projects now, and it's been rewarding seeing one of my younglings flock off and do that, and you know, I got some great opportunities on that program because we bought an X-ray machine, and I got to take a few trips to get trained to be a level 1 radiographer. Even though I'm not a quality guy, I still, you know, I got to understand what's going on, and we did that because we were doing critical aerospace welding, and we need to inspect every one of these welds. And so, you know, even though I'm an engineer that's not going to be looking at the radiographs like a quality person is, I still got to understand what I'm looking at. And so that was a lot of fun. I got a lot out of that project, and that transitioned me into supporting this current work on the Space Launch System. I help out with Boeing on upper stage work. I kind of serve as a subject matter expert on propulsion matters, and I'm kind of seated in with the Boeing team for what was Ares upper stage is now transitioning to SLS core stage and upper stage. And Boeing has a lot of really smart people on the program, but a lot of them don't have the hardware experience that a lot of us Dynetics people do, or just general specialties that us Dynetics people have, and we take advantage of that. You know, we pride ourselves on being able to bring in some of the best people that are subject matter experts to solve tough problems, and people like companies like Boeing really value that input, and they'll seed us in with their people to be that voice of experience to help with requirements development and help with other issues with a project, and so that got me involved with solid rocket motors and pyros and everything else. So I've spent my entire career out since I've been in college. I've worked on just about every major subsystem of a launch vehicle by doing that, and these days I'm working on some neat things, a lot of neat things that I can't talk about. But you know, hopefully one day, hopefully soon, I can. But it's been a very challenging project, some very challenging projects, I should say, in plural, and one of them's having me really dig in and learn the systems engineering process from experts and from some really smart people that we've hired to run this, and it's been really rewarding. And now I've got another young guy who's a Purdue graduate that just started with us that I'm ostensibly supposed to train, but I'm getting trained as much by him as I'm training him. So, you know, it's a two-way street. But regardless, there's a lot of fun stuff going on at Dynetics, and the stuff we can talk about and the stuff we can't talk about. And you know, and sometimes I get to help out with some of the military space applications that we do, and you know, my primary focus is on the NASA world and the NewSpace world, but we do have significant business interests with the Army on a small launch vehicle with the Army, and I have a lot of friends that are very deeply involved with that, and we have a lot of brainstorming sessions about that together offline. And you know, we're always trying to solve some sort of technical problem. The type of people that we work with, I feel really lucky, and that one of the wildest things after Dynetics bought Orion Propulsion was I'd already been part of a group of people that we were able to cherry pick some really good people from the Huntsville community to come work for Orion. And when we got brought in to be part of the Dynetics Space Division, I started to look around me and I realized that Dynetics does the same thing. And so everyone I've run into in the company is just brilliant and on top of their game. And it's so refreshing to work for such a smart, well-adjusted group of people. And the possibilities are limitless because they really encourage you to be creative and as long as you're trying to help the business. And who knows what else is going to emerge from this. And so it's been a fun ride so far, and I hope to keep doing it. So and things are starting to pick up again in Huntsville. So you know, it's been kind of depressing the last year or so with all my friends getting laid off on the Aries and all these other projects, and you know, they're all looking for work, and I'm working in this company, and you know, it's like we can only hire so many people, and I feel pretty lucky and blessed to be a part of it. But like I said, some people are actually getting their jobs back now, and things are picking up again. And I'm not going to expand upon any of the political machinations or opinions going on with the Space Launch System. It is what it is, and it's a program that is authorized right now. So NASA's got marching orders, so they're going to be putting people back to work, at least in Huntsville, on it. And so it's you know, we're all equally passionate, committed people that want to do space exploration, and we're just trying to find a way to do it.